For more of the 2024 race for the White House, let's go ahead and welcome in Mailman, former White House Associate Counsel during the Trump administration and a senior legal fellow at the International Women's Law Center. May, thank you for coming on the program.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Well, as you just heard in Libby Dean's piece there, Ron DeSantis saying that Trump will not back down. He will not accept caucus results unless he is declared the victor. Is it possible we're going to see a repeat of 2020?
Well, it's unclear. So a lot of Trump-backed candidates did lose during 2022, including two candidates that he backed in New Hampshire. So Don Baldock and Caroline Leavitt. They both got about 45% of the vote. And Trump never said that that was illegitimate. Of course, you do have Carrie Lake in Arizona, but it's not like Trump is saying that. That's her law, and she's not doing anything wild. She's just has a lot of court cases, which of course you're perfectly entitled to do. So it is always possible, but I do think we can look at 2022 and Trump's response and go from there. 2020 really was unique because if you look at people's voting habits, it was always voting in person, voting in person, voting in person, with a small mail-in voting contingent that completely flipped in 2020 with a huge mail-in voting contingent and much smaller in person. So I think 2020 was a little bit unique in its ability to give people distrust in our elections.
Well, what do you also think of Trump's recent comments that he made where he said he would not be a dictator except for day one? What do you think all this means?
So that was a joke, and not all jokes land, and that's okay. But it was clearly, I mean, he was smiling, and Sean Hannity is his friend, and then he said it again because he got such a reaction. And that's the thing. Trump wants a reaction out of people, and that's what the Republicans actually tend to like about Trump, because if you feel that there is a Washington establishment who really, truly does not care about you, and not only that, has started to turn the DOJ against you and the DOJ is now looking at Catholics and looking at school board moms, what do you want? You want someone who's going to go trigger them. And what's Trump out there doing is triggering. So what does that even mean? I'm going to be a dictator on day one and build a wall. How are you going to build a wall as a dictator? You need money. It doesn't make any sense logically, but it does make a lot of sense as a joke / troll / triggering mechanism.
It definitely raised a lot of questions. Trump is leading the polls all across the country, really, for the most part. I mean, is there a scenario in which he does not become the Republican nominee next summer?
There is a way, but it's a narrow path. And I think that the RNC did not help pave a path there because they basically flooded their debates with people who had no chance of going one-on-one with Trump. So I think if you wanted to see a true match of Trump versus some other candidate, the RNC through the debate process should have narrowed that field a lot longer ago. I still think the only other candidate with a path to defeat Trump is DeSantis. I know that his polling numbers are going like this versus Nikki Haley's are going like that. But if the people who like Trump also like the things that Ron DeSantis says and the policies and what he's done for the people of Florida, versus Nikki Haley, I think has her track record is a little bit hard to track. And it does feel, especially after the last debate, that she just has a lot of money behind her, but it's very unclear what she's actually going to do to deliver on promises, whatever those promises actually are. So I do see a ceiling for Nikki Haley, roughly where she is. I don't see that same ceiling for DeSantis, but DeSantis just hasn't been able to turn it around. So, all that said, the inevitability of Trump is pretty strong right now.
Hey, Mailman, still so many questions. Thank you, though, for coming on the program tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.